Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yes, breaking news. Check it out. Tory Lanez attacker speaks out. He explains why he pushed up on him and why he had to put the best hand in him, as Banky Pound says. Tune in to Banky Pound. He tells the fire prison stories. Now, Santino, he's going to break down why he stabbed him, what led up to it, and everything else. I'm going to play the prison call, and I'm going to break it down so you understand the mindset of a killer that's trapped within the walls doing life without parole. Let's keep this moving. All right. You know what it is. Unique Maker Audio. We in the house. We back. We're going to play this joint. Santino is going to break down why he stabbed Tory Lanez and what led up to it. And I'm going to explain it to you so you can understand fully what happened with Tory Lanez. So if you want to know what happened, I'm going to give it to you. Let's get this thing started. This here is a video of Tory Lanez attacker. He's speaking for the first time as far as to let it be known why he stabbed him, what led up to it. He said that Tory was doing some things that, he didn't like. You know what I mean? Said that he had his, hands where he couldn't see him, and that's a big no-no in the prison, just so you understand. So that's Santino, that's Tory Lanez. I want y'all to be on the lookout. Let's get it going.
Nothing much took place that day. Everything led up to that day, but that day I just came out in the morning to tell him, good morning. And I told him what's up, give him a little fist bump, ask him if everything is good. We had a little situation the night before and the day before.
So what was the situation the night before and the day before?
So I heard some rumors that he was trying to put money on my head. He felt uncomfortable living next to him.
Right there, the first thing you ask when you hear that is, who said that? And then you ask yourself, what's their motive? No one brings you a message without a motive, whether that motive is just to inform you, or it's to alarm you, or it's to bring your animal out to make you strike somebody else that they may have a problem with, but they don't have the heart to do it. So they tell you, who have the heart that they don't have, that this person said X, Y, Z, or blase about you. And that's supposed to infuriate your heart and make you want to go attack them for them. That's what you call a crash dummy, and that's what you call put a battery in somebody's back. Now, I say that to say, Santino was saying that he heard rumors, this and that, and that's where he went first. So he's a little wishy-washy on the way he's dealing with this, because he's saying that he stabbed him because of the rumors. And then you're going to hear in the phone call where he also said that he stabbed him because he was bragging a lot. So it sounds like his ego and his pride just didn't take to Tory Lanez, and that's the reason why. Santino said this out his mouth. I'm going to break it down because, like when I broke down the Papoose joint, a lot of those but I love a dog dudes didn't understand what I was saying, that sometimes a man have to put his foot down and show that he's a man, whether he's in a relationship or he's in prison doing hard time. If someone say or do something you don't agree with, you speak on it. If your woman say, my girlfriend is spending the night and I'm spending the night in a room with her, red flag, you say how you feel. If you don't feel nothing, to me, to Unique Maker Audio alone, not you, not anyone else, you're a sucker. That's just me, but that's just my opinion. My woman is not spending the night in the guest bedroom with nobody else. And I'm not trying to diss Papoose, but I hope y'all get this to Papoose. And like I said, if he don't like anything that I said in the video that I did, I would take the video down, because it wasn't to disrespect him and it wasn't to get views. It was just to reach out from one black man to another black man, to let Brother Black Love know that he's on the right path. We support him. He gets a round of applause. All right. Relax, man. Relax. Let me finish, man, so I can get back to Tory Lanez. But at the same time, you know, even though you got black love and we respect that, we love that, we honor that, and we treasure that, you still gotta have gangster love where you stand up as a man, because a woman is going to test you just to see if you're going to stand up or if you're going to lay down. And Remy felt you laid down, Pat. And that's why you're where you at now. Let's get back to Tory Lanez and take a ride.
For the threat. So I confronted him. And then I found out the same thing. He tried to put money on my head, so he said I put money on his head. We had a little discussion or whatever.
You see what I'm saying? Somebody's playing the middle, and they're telling each one of these men that each one of them is doing something against them as serious as trying to take someone's life. So now you have two men that's beefing with each other by a puppet master in the middle. But let's see how this play out.
So the next morning, that night, he said some shit. Okay, crazy. So the next morning, I came out to see if everything was good. Switched phone, talked to him. He said, yeah. So I was going back into my cell. And when I looked back, instead of going to cell, he was walking towards my door. He stood in front of my cell, looked at his boys, made his little smirk. And when he showed me what he had and something in his pocket, I just rushed him.
Now, he showed him what he had, like something in his pocket. But see, when you're dealing with paranoia and a man that knows that he himself is capable of doing the most horrendous crimes and sneak attack, he's seen something in his pocket. That means that his hands was in his pocket. Let me tell you a ride. I'm going to tell you a ride. This one here dedicated to Anton White from Washington, D.C. One of the most official gangsters that I met, right? I was honored to do an interview with him. Check it out, Anton White, right? We out in Long Park, and Anton putting a move down on a dude. We ain't gonna get into nothing. If you from there, you was there, you know what it is. So I'm not gonna get into mechanics, but those that know. If you don't know, you don't know. So if those that know, tell someone that don't know, don't say that you make audios up here doing some rat bastard shit. All right, because no names, no locations, no nothing is being mentioned, but I have to tell you about Anton White, how gangster he is. We in the yard, right? Anton White got the soft press on somebody. They looking out. And then one of his, comrades come on the compound, and he's like, hold up, you know what I mean? How you eating? How you the only one eating? But now it wasn't like that, because when Anton was eating, he was making sure that his team was eating, because that's how Anton played. You understand? But dude come down now, he's like, he wants to get a piece of the pie, So he goes and, him and Anton in the yard, and as they talking, dude got his hands in his pocket, and they talking aggressive. Anton don't do too much aggressive talking none of that anyway. He's just a laid back, smooth dude. But Anton just chilling in the yard, and while he's chilling, he's listening to dude, and dude talking, and dude got his hands in his pocket the whole time he's talking. So Anton is looking at me, telling him, yo, what's up, son? Get your hands out your pocket, And dude went to say something. All you heard was beep boop. Anton knocked him out. That's how serious it is in the prison. A man got his hands in his pockets. You don't know what he has. So that's why we riding back to Tory Lanez and Santinio Cassio. Because Santinio is saying a serious statement. He said that they had words the night before, the doors popped. Now he go check them to make sure everything's all right. And Santinio gives him a fist bump. Bang. He gives him one back, bong. He turns around, he starts walking back to himself. And then now Tory turns back and start walking back towards Santino's cell. And as he's walking back, he's already thinking in his mind, he's up to something. So what has he got? So he's looking for danger. As he's looking for danger, he sees a bulge in his pocket. And now, as soon as he sees that, you know, this is how he handled it. I'm going to let him tell you in his own words, and I'm going to break it down so you understand. All right? But big round of applause to Antonio White. All right, relax, y'all, relax. I gave him a round of applause because I was standing in the yard, and as I'm standing in the yard, I'm hearing the young people, this is years later, is coming and they're telling that story, how Anton White knocked the dude out because he had his hands in his pocket. Now, they're saying, I'm going to implement that in my life while I'm doing my time from the way Antonio White handled that and knocked dude slam out. Well, having his hands in his pocket, when he was asked to remove his hands, he went to talk instead of just removing his hands. Because that split second of him saying something, he could have just came up and we don't play that. All right. See, this is a gangster channel, you know. Let's get back to where we at.
What do you have in his pocket?
Right there. It don't matter what he had in his pocket. If you see a bulge in a person's pocket, you're beefing with your fist bump, they turn around, they go to walk back to their cell, and then they turn around and come back to you, and you notice a bulge, it's time to work, man. Ain't nothing to talk about, it's time to work. So if y'all ain't cut like this, right? If y'all disagree with what I'm saying, you're on the right path. Stay on the street, don't break the law, and don't wind up crossing the path of a Santino Casio or a Anton White. He asked him a simple question. Take your hands out your pocket, dog. And dude went to that. He was out cold. But that, I mean, I'm making light of it, but I'm just saying that's a serious matter. It's not to disrespect dude. Dude tried his hand. And now we're going to ride back to Remy. When Papoose saw that Remy had her friend from prison come over and said that she was going to spend the night in the room with her friend and not in the bed that they're supposed to spend every day of their life together as a married couple, you're not supposed to go to bed without your lover. You working, you're touring, so that calls for differency. But when you're home under the same roof, there's no reason for you not to be sleeping in the same bed. So if your girl suggests I'm sleeping over here, nah, we're gonna get whatever issue you got going on straight before we go to bed, and then we're going to bed. But you're saying that we don't have an issue, that your choice is to sleep in another bed with another human being other than your husband that you took these vows to. That's where Papoose was supposed to say, is you crazy? Bring your ass in the room. I mean, if you disagree, that's where you at. I'm just telling you where Unique make audio at and how I ran the streets. I don't know how you run the streets, and that's why I'm telling you don't run the streets, because it gets as raw as that. All right, let's ride back to Tory.
Well, he showed me, looked to me like I believed it could be a weapon at the time. So I rushed him, and I just snatched him. I just took advantage of him.
You know what he said? When he saw the bulge in his pocket, he just snatched them and took advantage of them. All right, plain as day. He snatched them, took advantage of them, is his words, not mine. So don't you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls go running with Unique said Antonio did this. No, Unique wasn't there. Unique is just reacting to a video and translating from a gangster point of view. That's it. All right, so now, you rat bastards, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tap out. All right, now get the hell off my channel. Let's get back to the program in hand, because we ride.
I just threw him all over, and I just kept slamming him and stabbing him. And
Were you trying to kill him?
No, not at all. But I felt like it was a weapon. I thought threatening.
I like this dude. I like this dude a lot, right? Because if you wetting the dude up, stabbing him 14 times, right? You're trying to kill him, dog. But I understand that you know you're being recorded. You understand? So you're trying to make sure that you don't say what need to be said. But I'm letting you know you're in prison. You're stabbing the dude 14 times, once or twice to get him down to, subdue him to prevent the danger that your life is in is one thing. But when you go 14 times, that's like, let's take a ride. That's like I watch IDTV. Big shout out to IDTV. I watch IDTV and I see these dudes that wind up killing their lovers and stabbing them like 98 times. How could you say you didn't intend to kill somebody when you tell them that? You don't think after 2 times that might have been enough? After 1? Or maybe after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, but 98 times and you say you loved her? Nah, I think that love went out the window and that love turned to hate. And that's why I'm telling you, don't get involved in the street, because the way my heart works, just my heart, there's only 2 lines. It's black and it's white. There's no gray in the middle. Either I love you or I hate you. That's it. So either you love me or you hate me as well. And I don't hate anyone. I'm going to be honest with that. I dislike a lot of people's rat bastard and flip-flop being in public trolling ways. That's what I can't stand. But I wouldn't turn it to hate. But dude said, nah, I wasn't trying to kill him. I just stabbed him 14 times. You know what I mean? All in the head. Come on, dog. But he knows that he's fighting the case and he's claiming up to his responsibility to keep the rat bastards and flip-flop weighing in public trolls off his case. He said, yeah, I did it, but give me the less amount of time. I didn't intend to kill him, because if I said that, yeah, I intend to kill him, now they can raise it to attempt murder. So long they can't raise it to attempt murder. Now we talking about something light to go down. So if I ever get this life off my back, then I could deal with this Tory joint that I inserted myself into with Megan Fine-ass Fox. He'll forever go down in history as the dude that stabbed Tory Lanez. You see how easy it is for dudes to just jump on people's cases? Not saying he did, but I mean, I'm giving you 2 sides and a different mentality. That's how you call jumping on someone's case. Because now let's ride. Because rat bastards, right? This is what they do. They sit there and they in the county jail, they in the feds, they wherever they at. And they hearing stories about certain people. They know they're getting ready to go to court. They don't even know the person. When they heard the stories off the compound through what they call the grapevine back in my day. So now I got it through the grapevine that this happened, that happened. And they call the prosecutor and say, hey, yo, prosecutor, I got some information I can get you unique locked up for the rest of his life because I heard he did blah, 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 blah. And they like smack them. Bang, shut up, stop talking so much. He's like, okay, yeah, but I'm sorry, I just really wanted to help. Then I say, bop, slap them again. Stop talking so much. And that's how the rat bastards be. It's all right, I'm going to bring you in. So then they send what they call a habeas corpus, which gives them a free ride back to the court to be debriefed by the prosecutor. Now, as they're being debriefed by the prosecutor, they're telling the stories that they heard from someone else about this person. And the prosecutor said, that's good information, but now I need you to say that you know this firsthand. I'm just telling you how the government works. I'm not trying to bash the government. I'm just telling you how rat bastards are created, because these are tools that the government have at their disposal to be able to scare the living crap out of a rat bastard to make him say anything on the stand, to keep his freedom or his property or his life or his liberty. Let's keep it going. Liberty and freedom is the same, just so you understand these words that are coming out my mouth. Now, let's ride back to Tory.
And when I felt like a sting in my leg, I felt like, oh, stabbed me?
Yo, he said he felt a sting in his leg, and he's like, oh, snap, he stabbed me? So it's like, yo, Santinio's thinking like, this coward fighting back. He stabbed me. I feel a sting in my leg. I'm just translating. That's all I'm doing. Don't take it the wrong way. Let's keep it moving.
So I moved back, and I kept stabbing more, and I seen that he threw something, so I was like, oh, this is bad.
See, right there is where he's setting up for his case. He's saying that he felt a sting in his leg and he threw something. But now, right, here's the funny part, right? Because I'm gonna keep it, because I know we all Tupac fans. I love Tupac, personal friend of mine. I ain't even tell my Tupac stories yet. But you know how they say Tupac shot himself in the nuts down there at Quad Studio when he went to reach for the joint went out. Do you think maybe Santino could have stabbed himself in the leg because he's so excited trying to take Tory Lanez out that he stabbed himself in the leg, and now he's adding that he threw something that was never found? But I don't know about that theory. It could be, just letting you know how it works, because then Santonio turns around and says that they never even found the knife that he stabbed him with. Now, he's admitting to stabbing him without a knife. Craziest thing I ever heard. Obviously, he's not used to that. But you don't admit to a crime, period. I'm just saying, you know, until you talk to your lawyer and you tell your lawyer first. That's why they say you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, right? Look for your phone, baby boy, and leave me alone. This is my grandson. Come here, man. Stop being a pain in the ass right now. Come here. Don't you see me working? This is my grandboy. Lean in the camera so they can see you. Look up at the camera or get the hell out the camera. Make your mind up. What you want to do? All right. That's my grandson. I make sure he listens to these stories so I keep him away from winding up in prison or in these circumstances that we're talking about now. What you looking for, your phone?
No.
All right, so what you want?
Because mommy was going to call.
All right, well, get out of here, man. Don't you see me doing the video? We'll talk about your mama later. Didn't I tell you when you're around your granddaddy, you're a man? When you're around your mama and your daddy or whoever else you want to be. But when you're around me, stop that. I don't want to hear nothing about your mama going upstairs. All right? That's my boy. But see, that's how you raise a gangster. They're going to teach him. See, this is how you give him balance. You know what I mean? They're going to love him to death, smother him, kiss her. Oh, Josiah, Prince, you're so cute. And I'm going to tell him, sit your ass down. Everybody cute. You know what I mean? But the object is to move forward in life and elevate so you can take care of your family. My grandson. That's how I raise him. Y'all can tell me I'm wrong. You do what the hell you want to do. Watch how my grandson grow up, and we'll see how yours is. You want to criticize my grandparenting. All right? They got to know what a gangster is. If they don't, when they run across him, they're going to know how to react, and they might wind up in a bad situation.
I just kept going. After he was yelling in the house, screaming, please help me. I just keep him watching that trick.
Now he's trying to disrespect Tory, saying Tory was yelling, please help me. He might have been, not saying he wasn't, but I mean, you know, that's just something to add to it, to throw to his legacy that he made Tory Lanez scream, please help me, please help me. Oh my God, let's listen to this.
Protection, I get on and look at me, and then I just let him go. Like, I was saying, like, man, you trying to kill me?
What were you guys like? I know why, but why would he pick you out of all people to want to put money on your head? Well, what was the beef exactly about?
It was really no beef. He just talked a lot, and I had confronted him a while back about
right there.
old things, certain around me. Like, I'll take a fade, I'll knife up, I'll put guns into me. I feel like the second, third time hearing that in a conversation, I was like, man, what you trying to say? So I approached him and told him that the son, like, just go.
See, right there, what he's saying is right now we're getting to the heart of what the issue is with Tory Lanez and Santino Cassio from Unique's point of view as a gangster that been through all those same scenarios. Bottom line is, dude Cassio, right? This is crazy. He's saying that Tory Lanez talked a lot. That he was talking about, I do this with a knife, I do that with a knife. Like, you know, I take the knife away from a person, come at me. Anybody got a knife is a sucker. You know what I mean? Not everybody's a killer. Yeah, you got killers with a knife, but you got suckers too. And I can tell a sucker when I see one. And Santino was listening to that and he's saying, oh, you calling me a sucker? And then Tory's like, you know, yeah, because, you know, I hate when a sucker be trying to act like they tough because, you know, I'm going to put my work in. And Santonio's like, oh, you going to put your work in on me? So they having two different conversations. Tory might just have been feeling himself and telling about how he ready for war, you know, but the person that he's telling it to is not all there in the head and definitely not all there to have Tory in his heart. So he's looking at Tory as now an enemy. So now he looks and he's like, oh, no, you talking about you going to do this and that to me? You know what I mean? So that seems more logical from a point of view of a man that did 26 years in prison, because you get guys that come in, and Tory's, he might not get a chance to get into the drama as much as he want to do physically, but he could get into it verbally by expressing what he'll do. Centennial lived next door to him, and them in a unit, and he said, yo, I'm tired of this crap. Yo, what's up? Then I'm hearing that you putting a bounty on my head. You even gonna hear Centennial say they used to eat together. Yo, I don't know, but you know, they in what they call the 50-50 yard in Cali, in the Fed, they call it dropout yard. But even in dropout yards, right? I've seen it, but it's rare to see it where you have two different races, you know, eating together, smoking together, drinking together, everything that he's saying that him and Tory did. So you already know they're in a whole different environment than the official gladiator schools, just so you understand. Right? But that don't mean everybody there is like that now. That don't mean everybody there is like that. Cause let me take you for a ride. How much time I've been on here? I've been on here 26 minutes, long enough. I'm gonna take you on that ride a little later, you know. But let's get back to Tory.
When I'll come to your cell, we'll do whatever, like let's play this game then, because I felt like he was kind of antagonizing me, like testing me, like if someone was afraid or something.
You see what I'm saying? Centennial was saying that he felt like he was antagonizing him, like he was saying you was a coward. If you came at me with a knife, I'd take your knife from you. You wouldn't do nothing with a knife. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened. That's how people feel themselves and talk in prison. That's what getting problems like this. And while he's talking, he's thinking that this dude is not going to bust a grape in in a fish fight. You know? So now all of a sudden he turns around and he said, man, I'm tired of this. So he confronts him. And then when he see him walking back, see the bulge, everything pop loose. I hope you all comprehend what I'm saying.
We were cool at the beginning. We were cool for like a year. We chilled, kicked it together, everything. They did.
Oh, they're not on that type of prison yard, Rochelle.
See, he's letting me know they're not on that type of prison yard. You know, they can mix and be friends of different races. The yards I was on, I had a lot of Spanish dudes that I was cool with, but it's like there's only but so far they could go as far as being cool with me. You understand? Meaning I can't, they can't come sit at my table with me and the homies while we eat. They'll have to stand up from the table and say what they're saying, even if there's a seat open. Because if you sit down at the table, then it's like you're one of them. And now they people looking like, yo, what side you on, us or them? I know that sounds crazy to you, but that's how it is. I'm going to give you one, right? I think I'm going to get back to my prison stories. I feel like I got a bunch of prison stories coming just even thinking about this. Yo, I'm in Atwater, right? So I'm in Atwater and there's a TV, downstairs, right? Right outside my cell. So I can sit on the top tier, look down and watch the TV. So I get up in the morning, there's nobody out there watching TV. I know every morning they watch Jerry Springer on that TV, but this was a Paisa TV, right? Sereno TV. So there was nobody in there. So I look around, I don't see nobody. So I go downstairs and I change the channel and put it on Jerry Springer. And before I go upstairs, I see a little Spanish dude in the workout room looking out the glass at me. You know what I mean? But I looked at him, gave him a head nod, and I went upstairs and I leaned up and looked at the TV. Then my little man from Sacramento, he comes, right? I think we'll tell you his name. Good dude, I ain't gonna tell you his name, because I really want to get in touch with him if I want to say his name. But a good little Spanish dude, I was with him in Lewisburg when they bodied somebody, and we wound up doing time in ADX together also. And now we in Atwater together, right? And dude pulls me up and he said, yo, Unique, that's the BET TV. That's the black TV. None of us is going to go ever touch that TV, even if there's not a black person in here, then that TV can't be changed, because we're never going to touch yours. You know you and me cool. Anything I got is yours, But the way they work out here in California, you ain't allowed to turn that TV. I said, what you mean you ain't allowed? Since when I got to be allowed to do something? He said, nah, these are the rules here. I said, yeah, but you tell me like I'm not allowed to turn a government TV. He said, Unique, we out here in the West Coast. They die for things like that. You understand? So yeah, well, I die to stand as a man, that a man can't tell me what I can and can't do. You know? So then now another dude come, I'm gonna tell you his name. Dude named Fat Cat, right? From up in the same area too, black dude. They call him Fat Cat. Big round of applause to Fat Cat. All right, relax. All right, relax, y'all. Yeah, relax, man. Relax. If anybody know where Fat Cat is at, tell Fat Cat to get in touch with me. Fat Cat pulled me aside and he said, yo, New York, check it out, bro. He said, come over here. Whatever you want to watch, you can watch over here on this TV. You know, we don't touch theirs, they don't touch ours. That's the rules. Now, that's crazy how, even though this dude, I really want to say his name because I want to get in touch with him. Even though this dude was my man, just me looking at him as a Spanish dude telling me as a black man what I can and can't do, especially while I'm incarcerated, I wanted to go to war. I don't like the police. I don't tell me what I can and can't do. That's why they hated me in there. Much as another man in a brown suit like me, but Fat Cat said, nah, you know, and he broke it down to me. And then there were a couple more brothers. I'm trying to think of his name. Another Crip came in and they pulled me up and they talked to me and they explained to me how it works in the West Coast. But that's how it is when you wind up in someone else's territory and you're still living by your morals and your principles that governs you. And I could have lost my life. But I would have welcomed that because I would have been standing up for what I call being a man on man time. And that's why I've been wearing the man time hat, because we having serious issues. Like when I was talking to Pap, now I'm talking to Tory Lanez, because these rappers and big entertainers, they just got their small circle around them. So they don't have access to real OGs. No disrespect to the OGs around them. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that been through the trenches. Now, let's get back to this.
Okay.
I don't know. They got like little fractions, but she was more like she was different. She started kicking it with certain people, you know. And when we started doing that, that's kind of when we had our little misunderstandings and we stopped talking as much. But we were neighbors for a while. I've been knowing him for about 2 years already.
Okay. And during the situation when you and him grew a friendship?
Yeah, we were cool. We chilled, we ate, we drank, we partied, kicked it, yeah.
See what I'm saying? He couldn't say they had a friendship if I said we was cool. We ate, look at it, it's on the screen. You know, we ate, we drank, and we partied, we kicked it. Yeah, we good. No, that don't happen in the prison. You know it don't happen in the prison. Don't let them believe that. On those type of yards that happen. But that don't happen. And while you're in prison, no disrespect, you know you could never be cool with someone from another race that has the tension that they have towards us. It's being respectable to them. You respect that. If you violate me, and I will respect that you with me if I violate you. That's what we have. We don't have a coolness, because at any minute it stays warm. The same way I just told you how my little man that I know from Lewisburg that body somebody went to ADX to, and we did everything together. Now we in Atwater together. He made sure I had my white lightning when I wanted it. Of course, I had to spend my money. You know, sometimes he gave it, but I mean, that's as far as it went. But he could never sip from the bottle with me. He could never drink from my cup. And that was my heart as my Mexican friend. And I was his heart. But at the same time, if I violated his people, he was going to take my head off. But I know that. And I respect that. And vice versa. And he respects that. And that's the type of relationship that we have in prison. So that's why I say don't go to prison, because it goes that hard that, you know, what you call cool, that that you ate with, you drank with, you partied with it, you kicked it with it, and yeah, we good with that Centennial talking. If he violate one of your comrades, you might have to be the one to put the Bethlehem in him. Let's keep it moving.
Okay.
How much did the guy tell you that he paid to have you killed to get off the yard?
Oh, he said double whatever I was offering, but I never made that offer. That's what I never understand. He said that someone told him I offered people money to get rid of him. So he said he would give that person double and some dope and stuff. But truth be told, I never offered no money. Like, why would I offer somebody something I could do?
He said, why would I offer somebody money for something that I could do my damn self? I like this dude. I ain't gonna say I'm cool with him, you know, but I like him. You're like, yo, come on, dog. Why would I offer somebody money for something I could do? I can't, Tory, if I want. It ain't no fun unless I do it, where I can see and feel the blood seeping out of his body and him taking his last breath. And like you're going to hear him say, he said, look at me after he said, look at me. That's to let him know I did this to you. The devil did this to you. And you brought the devil out of me. Is that real, y'all?
Did it make sense? But once he yelled and made threats and I'll have you killed and, you know, have a run up to you, say all that comments and like you.
See, he's saying Tory's making comments that he'll kill, he'll do this, he'll do that. He said, man, all them comments and shit.
I felt like, all right, you threatened my life. There's nothing else to do but confront you.
See, he said he felt his life was threatened, so he had to confront him. How many of y'all feel like somebody threatened your life? How many of y'all come on social media, you stinking rat bastards, come on here on social media and threaten people's lives and don't know what they're going to do because you expect never to see them because what? You have your best weapon in front of you. This is not a weapon, my brother. Just a piece of plastic. So all that coming up here threatening people's lives, you don't know if someone feels that the threat that you're putting on them on YouTube has their life in danger in their mind that they decide to wind up bodying you. So I'm respectfully asking you not to do that. I'm trying to save your life, man.
That's what happened the next morning. I asked him, are we cool? He said, yeah, that's cool. And when I went to my cell, he followed me. Like I told you earlier.
Do you have any regrets of stabbing him?
Regret? Shit.
Because you stabbed him 14 times.
Nah, I don't regret stabbing him. That threatened my life and I felt threatened for. But he can't say that right now because he's fighting the case. I like this dude. Round of applause. And I know you rat bastards say I'm giving round of applause and he's a Mexican, this and that. No, I'm giving his mindset a round of applause. Where that don't have nothing to do with a color, geographical location, or race, none of that. I'm giving his mindset as a criminal so that you, the viewers, can see the mindset of a criminal. You asking a killer that allegedly killed a 13-year-old girl, which is the most despicable thing, and that's why he's serving life in jail. So don't think that I'm promoting that. I'm doing nothing but just showing light to this, that this is the mindset. You ask him, do he regret it? Come on. I thought dude was going to take my life. Why would I regret that? Is what he really want to say. He said, he might even say, if you really wanted to ask him, he probably would tell you that I'm mad that he didn't die. If you want to know the real answer, but this is YouTube and he's intelligent, he know he got to watch what he's saying. Like I said, I gave his mindset as a criminal a round of applause because y'all get to see right now inside the mind of a criminal. And you're getting it translated for someone that was there that's now trying to help you not wind up where he's at mental-wise.
Yeah. I know that. I wish I could do certain things over, but at the end of the day, I felt like he threatened my life.
See, he's saying, man, I don't regret it, but because at the end of the day, I felt like he threatened my life. But he's saying as respectable as he can, like, Nah, I don't regret that shit. And he's giving a justification because he felt his life was threatened, which is the ultimate justification. That's why I say stop threatening people on this social media. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Remember, I told y'all this. You know, when somebody take it to the next level, and then I get to report on that and say, didn't I tell y'all? Y'all messing with these dudes on social media, thinking you safe behind the keyboard. Stop it, man. Hey.
So, I mean, I can't. So it actually felt necessary to me at the time, like the whole, in the moment, him coming to my cells, you know, showing, grabbing, walking, like, nah, I felt like, nah, it's it. So I can't say I regret taking a stand for myself. No, not at all. I mean, I feel remorseful in a sense because it really didn't have to go that far, but I mean, he made his decisions and I made mine.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what I respect about this man, because he's talking from a straight killer's point of view. He's saying he regret that it had to go that route, but being that it went that route, nah, I'm not, you know, I don't regret it, you know, but he knows it could have went another way if they would have just talked about it, communicated as men. And that's all he's saying there. That he didn't take a man's way out. That's not a man's way out to go just put the Bethel hand in him. Especially if you're saying that you was cool with him, you ate with him, you drank with him, y'all did this and that for a year. And they even fist bumped him in the morning. You could have fist bumped him, sat him down, picked his shirt him, say, look, family, I ain't got nothing on me, but the way you acting, I'm hearing about these rumors going on in the yard, like you put a price on my head. I ain't got you doing that, but I got to confront it as a man to find out and hear it from you before I go listening to somebody else. Because I always ask myself, who's the messenger and what's the motive? And the messenger that brought it, and Tory said, well, who told you? We ain't going to get into that because I'm going to handle him. Once you give me your answer that I'm comfortable with, or we going to handle each other. So don't worry about who that is. But I want to know where me and you stand and what's going on. Or we going to get it on. That's how real it is, y'all. Come on, man.
Did he end up having a weapon on him?
I mean, obviously, I got a stab mark in my leg. Okay.
He may have stabbed himself. It's not to disrespect him. He may have stabbed himself.
Going to the hole, I mean, they didn't find no weapons either. I don't understand that part.
But okay, so no weapons were found from him, only from you.
No weapon was the weapon I was using wasn't found either.
See, right there, somebody could have just picked it up. You could have thrown it in somebody's cell that stashed it, flushed it, whatever. We're not going to make these little excuses, no weapon found. You're already admitting that you stabbed them. If you wouldn't have been on YouTube saying nowadays you stabbed them, then you could have used there was no weapon. So ain't nobody telling on you by saying that, dog. Somebody either picked the weapon up or the police hid the weapon and didn't want to produce the weapon because it was Tory Lanez. It could go down all kinds of conspiracy theories. Bang. All right, so let's stop it.
There's no weapon found.
Where'd it go?
That's what in the video it shows me putting it on the floor.
See, in the video he shows him putting it on the floor. So you're admitting that there was a knife. So where it went or where it didn't go is just social media talk. Bottom line is you're admitting to the crime, and we see you in video putting the knife that you tried to take this man's life with on the ground. So you're guilty.
That's what
is what they'll say in court, allegedly.
They were asking me, I don't know. Nobody was around. It was just me and him on the tier. There wasn't in no day room. Nobody was standing next to us. It was just me and him.
So there's no entrance to another cell from that tier. Let me show y'all what a tier looked like. To this, man. Let's get back to this. But that's a tier. Nothing could go under those cells. Nothing could go under those cells. You know what I mean? Is what he's saying. But we know that they ain't got no door stoppers in no prison cell.
And who saved them?
Oh, we do roll up newspaper and put it in front of the prison cell doors to keep the mice out and the wind out and the dust out. Just so you know, because you got the rat bastards would say, oh, you said there's no door protectors. No, we create our own, but the government do not have door protectors on the cell. You know what I mean? When you get in the newer prisons, then they have those with the little brush on the bottom, but we still wind up getting our linear, meaning our line out under the door. Put it in the comments if I'm right or wrong, all right? Because you got the rat bastards. They look for anything to challenge your OG instead of just sitting back, shutting that F up and just listen to the jewels.
I let him go. I picked him up. I told him, like, look at me. He looked at me, and then I just slammed him on the floor and kind of kicked the back of his butt with my foot, like pushed.
In other words, he's saying he picked him up, made him look at him, slammed him on the floor, and then kicked him in his ass. That's what he's basically saying. You know, it's up to you what you want to believe out the whole thing, but I gave you different scenarios about what he said, but, you know, it is what it is, because if he picked him up, kicked him in his ass, then he picked him up while he all stabbed up, and then he ran off. I think he would have ran off and wouldn't have been laying there if he picked him up, but I'm just saying, I'm just deciphering it, giving you many different ways to look at this, because...
Let him run away.
And did he run away, or did he crawl away, or how did he get away?
He ran, screaming. He knows. He knows.
See, this way he degrades him at, you know, but we're not really going to go for that. We're going to take it back here because this is where I want to go right now. I'm going to play the whole tape so y'all can hear it. So if somebody's saying, oh, Unique Mega Audio, you kept stopping the name, I couldn't hear the tape. Oh, Unique Mega Audio, Unique Mega Audio, you know the day when I couldn't play the tape. You thought the day when I couldn't play the tape. That's what you sound like to me, a bunch of whining. Come on, dog. Just enjoy the content, man. God, gotta find something to talk about. Stop being the keyboard gangsters and let's just enjoy this together as a team. All right? Now, I'm going to play this so that y'all can listen to it. I'm going to take my black ass off, and I don't even do better than that, right? I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to let the 8 minutes run out so y'all can enjoy it, all right? And I'm going to take myself off the screen. Y'all listen to the tape. This is how the whole tape went without Unique Mega Audio interrupting the tape. All right?
Shot him allegedly.
Okay. That day, nothing much took place that day. Everything led up to that day, but that day I just came out in the morning to tell him, you know, good morning. And I told him what's up, give him a little fist bump, ask him if everything is good. We had a little situation the night before and the day before.
So what was the situation the night before and the day before?
So I heard some rumors that he was trying to put money on my head. He felt uncomfortable living next to me. Said I was a threat. So I confronted him. And then I found out the same thing. Because he tried to put money on my head, so he said I put money on his head. We had a little discussion or whatever. So the next morning, that night, he said some shit. I'm kind of crazy. So the next morning, I came out to see if everything was good. Switch phone, talked to him. He said, yeah. So I was going back into my cell. And when I looked back, instead of going to cell, he was walking towards my door. He stood in front of my cell, looked at his boys, made his little smirk. And when he showed me what he had and something in his pocket, I just rushed him.
What did he have in his pocket?
I just rushed him. What he showed me looked to me like I believed it could be a weapon at the time. So I rushed him, and I just snatched him. I just took advantage of him. He was weak. I just threw him all over, and I just kept slamming him and stabbing him. And
were you trying to kill him?
No, not at all. But I thought like it was a weapon. I thought threatening. And when I felt like a sting in my leg, I felt like, oh, he stabbed me. So I moved back, and I kept stabbing more. And I seen that he threw something, so I was like, what the f*** is that? So I just kept going. After he was yelling, help, screaming, please help me. I just picked him up and I tried protection. I said, I'm like, look at me. And then I just let him go. Like, I was saying, like, man, you trying to kill me?
What were you guys like? I know, but why would he pick you out of all people to want to put money on your head? What was the beef exactly about?
It was really no beef. He just talked a lot. And I had confronted him a while back about always saying certain around me, like, I'll take a fade, I'll knife up, I'll put a in place. And to me, I feel like the second, third time hearing that in a conversation, I was like, man, what you trying to say? So I approached him and told him, like, what's up? Like, just go, I'll come into your cell, we'll do whatever, like, let's play this game, man. Because I felt like he was kind of antagonizing me, like, testing me, like, if someone was afraid or something. We were cool in the beginning. We were cool for like a year. We chilled, kicked it together, everything. They did.
Oh, they're not on that type of prison yard, Rochelle.
Okay.
No. They got like little fractions, but she was more like he was different. He started kicking it with certain people, you know. And when he started doing that, that's kind of when we had our little misunderstandings and we stopped talking as much. But we were neighbors for a while. I've been knowing him for about 2 years already.
Okay. And during the situation when you and him grew a friendship?
Yeah, we were cool. We chilled, we ate, we drank, we partied, kicked it. Yeah, we were good.
How much did the guy tell you that he paid to have you killed to get off the yard?
Oh, he said double whatever I was offering, but I never made that offer. That's what I didn't understand. He said that someone told him I offered people money to get rid of him. So he said he would give that person double and some dope and stuff. But truth be told, I never offered no money. Like, why would I offer somebody something I could do? It didn't make sense. But once he yelled and made threats and I'll have you killed and, you know, have a run up to your cell, all that comments, I felt like, all right, you threatened my life. There's nothing else to do but confront you. And that's what happened the next morning. I asked him, are we cool? He said, yeah, it's cool. And when I went to my cell, he followed me. Like I told you earlier.
Do you have any regrets of stabbing him?
Regrets? Shit.
Because you stabbed him 14 times.
Yeah. I know that. I wish I could do certain things over, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, I felt like he threatened my life. So, I mean, I can't. Those actions felt necessary to me at the time, like the whole, in the moment, him coming to my cells, you know, grabbing me, pocket, like, nah, I felt like, nah, it's it. So I can't say I regret taking a stand for myself. No, not at all. I mean, I feel remorseful in a sense because it really didn't have to go that far, but I mean, he made his decisions and I made mine.
Did he end up having a weapon on him?
I mean, obviously I got a stab mark in my leg, and with both going to the hole. I mean, they didn't find no weapons either. I don't understand that part.
But okay, so no weapons were found from him, only from you.
No weapon was the weapon I was using wasn't found either. There was no weapon found.
Where'd it go?
That's what in the video it shows me putting it on the floor. That's what they were asking me. I don't know. Nobody was around. It was just me and him on the chair. We weren't in no day room. Nobody was standing next to us. It was just me and him.
And who saved them?
I let him go. I picked him up. I told him, like, look at me. He looked at me, and then I just slammed him on the floor and kind of kicked the back of his butt with my foot, like pushed him, let him run away.
And did he run away, or did he crawl away, or how did he get away?
He ran, screaming. He knows. He knows.
So that's where we at, Rob. So now you heard what happened, Centennial. I broke it down. I let y'all hear the whole tape without me interrupting. For the rat bastards that don't like the way I do my show, I'm here to accommodate you as long as you just hit the like button, stay out the comments with the stupid crap. Because we have a button. Let me explain this to you so y'all understand, Rob. You can't win this fight. YouTube set this up that I win the fight, right? If you put a comment I don't like, there's a button that I can hit, hide user from channel. That means I still get your subscription because you subscribed watching, and you still get to watch it. But now when you say something on the keyboard, it don't show up in the comments. That's the hide from user for all of y'all that want to know how to deal with rat bastards, flip-flop wearing, and public trolls. There's a button, you hit the 3 dots, and it says you can hide the user's comment from your channel. It says hide the user, but it means his comment, you know? So his comments will never be seen again, and he'll keep putting it up, and it'll show up on his end, and he'll basically just having fun with himself, saying, oh, stuff like the music, what are you doing? I hate you. And nobody sees it but him. YouTube gets a round of applause. You see, I give y'all jewels. I even share with content creators. Relax. If any content creator want me to get on their show and they not on no rat bastard flip-flop way and public troll time, they gonna ask me no incriminating questions like I seen them do out west on that with Big U and Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. I can't believe that. And I'm disappointed in one of my homies got them coming out here, you know, to the East Coast, because you don't got a West Coast indictment. Don't get my homies caught up on no East Coast indictment, man. Homies, pay attention, man. You know, be careful for those that bear gifts when they come. Gifts in the form of getting on their channel just to get YouTube views, when you could get on a real gangster channel and know you won't be indicted. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops make an audio. Make a what? Make a 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 audio. And we gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can give back to the. Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio.